Find out how I am going to use grants to fund my dream tiny house development. If you want to fund a passion project, this video is for you. This will be the first video of many where I bring you along the journey of how I've taken years of grant writing experience to build out my biggest, wildest dream in public. All right, with that, let's hit it. First off, you might notice I'm not as round as I was in previous videos. That is because I have had a baby grant writing unicorn. His name is Wilder and about to have the coolest childhood ever when I tell you about this project. But first, the #1 challenge with passion projects is that they often aren't produced by an existing nonprofit, or in my case, you're even a for-profit business. Now, keep in mind, I haven't actually figured out how I'm gonna make any money doing this, but that's something I have faith I'm gonna figure it out later. The bottom line is that if you have a for-profit business or you don't have a nonprofit, you have to think creatively. Challenge #2 is asking yourself, is what I want to do truly innovative or different? And to make that magic happen, your passion project has to inspire others to become a part of it so that they can see the unique opportunity that it presents. You know when you were learning to write and you were told to never start a sentence with "and"? So you can, but you have to know the rules first before you can break them. That's my situation. I've been writing grants for over 10 years, winning over 42 million in awards, and now teaching others how to write grants and make a great living doing it. Members of the Global Grant Writing Collective have won over 627 million in grants, and that figure is going to be updated here soon during our annual survey. I get to play ball in this big leagues in the passion project that I have because I have been putting in the reps with tens of other projects. Okay, before I jump into the secret sauce behind how I'm going to fund this passion project, what is it? Last summer, when I finally wasn't so nauseous from being pregnant, I went to McCarthy to find myself again, and I ended up staying for a month, camped at the toe of a glacier, using my phone's hotspot to work during the morning, and then I'd look for property to buy in the afternoon. A month ago, I purchased this dreamy 10-acre parcel in McCarthy, Alaska. This little location is adjacent to the Wrangell St. Elias National Park, which is the largest park in the US park system, fun fact. It is 5 miles south of Kennecott, this historic copper mine, and it's a landmark where copper mine was mined from over 77 miles of tunnels in these mountains in the early 1900s. What intrigues me about this place so much is how wildly innovative they were. There were more flush toilets in this little company town of Kennecott than Rhode Island had at the time. They developed a leaching process that took them from 95% ore extraction to 98%, still used today. I could give you a ton of more fun history lessons, but really, you just need to come visit me and take a tour. No cars are allowed, so once you cross the pedestrian bridge, you have to bike, walk, or take the shuttle. It's dirt roads and rustic, while you can also get a delicious espresso at the Potato and a lovely cocktail and burger at the Golden Saloon. After I read this book, Deep Work by Cal Newport, I learned about the concept of a Udonia Machine, where an office is set up with a very intentional design, supporting you to get into a deep work state of mind, which, if you write grants, you know it's the only way that a narrative actually gets written. My vision is to build a series of Nordic, Scandinavian-inspired tiny houses and a lodge with a Udonia machine in it for creative professionals to visit to develop their deep work projects, whether that's writing a novel, writing code, writing a grant, whatever it is for you, while also being inspired and recharged by the backcountry environment. I could talk to you about this for an hour, but I'm gonna shush it and get to the strategy on how I'm leveraging grants to help fund this audacious vision. Now, if you do wanna follow along on this journey step by step, please feel free to follow me on Instagram. It's at meredith.noble, and there will be subsequent videos dropping here as the project develops. Here is my 5-part framework for getting your passion project funded with grants. Step 1, find a fiscal sponsor. Fiscal sponsor is a 501c3 nonprofit that can be the recipient of the grant and provide grant management and administration for you. They typically take around 10% of the grant to provide this service. In a perfect world, the fiscal sponsor is also playing a key role in the project's development. I can't spill the beans yet on who I want to work with as a fiscal sponsor because we're in talks now and the deal isn't inked, but the nonprofit that I want to partner with is a climate tech deployment accelerator. They connect startups with partners and project opportunities throughout Alaska. Perfect, am I right? Plus, I have developed a funding strategy for them in the past, and I've written a successful EDA grant to fund an Aerospace Innovation Center research project. My advice to you is if you have a passion project, hold your horses on rushing to start a nonprofit or thinking narrowly that grants have to come only to you, and instead think about who else already exists with an excellent track record that can be your strategic partner. The term, again, is fiscal sponsorship. Step 2, develop a funding strategy. Now, how I am opening the door for myself with this partner is to bring a list of grants that I could help them pursue to deploy climate and energy technology on my property out in McCarthy. Because we always need to be asking ourselves, what does the partner get out of this? And it has to be a win-win. And that is totally aligned because I want to build a nanogrid out there. I hired a member of the Global Grant Writing Collective to research grants for me using Instrumental, our favorite grant database. P.S. I'll link up a discount code below. But working with this member has been an absolute dream. And as a funny side note, last September I told her to or get off the pot because you cannot be on my email list for 2 years and not take action. Lurkers, I am talking to you right now, to you. I'm gonna link up the sassy YouTube video that I made for her and I want you to go watch it. Anyway, so this gal, she took action and she has been crushing it. We have just under 50 really interesting grant opportunities, identifying millions of dollars of grants depending on how we want to develop the project and what kind of projects we want to focus on starting with first. Don't know how to find grants and put together a funding strategy? Join me in the collective and I will show you how. It is a process that is 100% unique to me because I developed it from scratch, figuring out how to fund complex capital projects. Step 3, lock up a partnership agreement. After you've had conversations with your potential fiscal sponsors and you figured out who you want to partner with, it is time to finalize a partnership agreement outlining who will do what. I was the director of Mountain Bike for Women, an Alaska bike festival, and to receive sponsorship money that would be tax deductible, I partnered with the Alaska Bike Club so they could receive and manage our money. It was a simple 2-page agreement saying who's doing what, and the event was a slammin' success. Think unicorn dance party in the woods, ice cream social, a race, skills clinics, an incredible logo. It was so fun. So that's how that works. Step 4, pursue the grants in your funding strategy. I'm not to this stage yet, so I'm gonna be unpacking it with you more in coming videos. But in this phase, we implement that funding strategy. You are not willy-nilly chasing any grant. You're hyper-focused on the grants that are gonna move the needle and put together a 5-star proposal. Step 5, do the thing. Once you have your funding, you get to develop your passion project. Voila! Now, obviously this can be relatively straightforward if you're putting on a community bike race, or for instance, if it's something that's gonna take you years, like my project in McCarthy will with Udonia. That's what I'm calling it. The challenge you have to overcome is that all of these steps come with lessons learned through training and experience. It can be beneficial to develop your chops learning on other people's projects and then circling back to your own passion project, which is something I see several members of the collective do. Because as you know, our mantra is earn to learn. In recap, the 5 steps to getting grant money for your passion project is 1, find a fiscal sponsor. 2, develop a funding strategy. 3, lock up a partnership agreement. 4, implement your funding strategy. And 5, do the thing. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button because I'm especially fired up to be sharing with you how this entire journey is going to unfold out in McCarthy. And hey, maybe we'll get to even meet in real life out there. Talk to you later.